Hey everybody, welcome to another video by 520fishing.net. My name is Moose. I'm going to be shooting your video again today, and I know we've kind of been MIA over the winter. Well, things happen. We had a crappy winter this year. Well, depends on how you look at it, but we didn't really have any ice. So without the ice, obviously we didn't get a chance to go out and do any real ice fishing. So kind of threw a wrench in that. But here we are, early June, actually almost mid-June, and I got another Mystery Tackle Box Pro in the mail today, and I figured what better time than now, considering we're kind of in this full swing of our tournament season. Freeman and I, we've been fishing quite a few tournaments this year, and we've had some ups, we've had some downs. We've had a few lakes that were a little tougher than we anticipated they would be. They were really good lakes to us last year, but unfortunately this year they didn't pan out so well. But with all that being said, I did finally get my own boat. So that's been kind of cool. I'll probably shoot a little video later of just what I have. I mean, it's nothing special. It's not that great big huge Bass Cat or Ranger or Skeeter or any of the other big brands, but it is a tracker. It is 18 foot, and it serves us perfectly for our small inland lake tournaments. Draft's really shallow, so we'll like I said, I will shoot a video on that later on, just to kind of give you guys a heads up on what I fish out of. Like I said, it's nothing big and fancy, but you know what? Fishing's not about big and fancy. Now, I take that back, because if I had the money it would be, but honestly, anytime that you can get out and go fishing, whether it's from a rowboat, a canoe, a kayak, a float tube, an aluminum boat, or even onto a $60,000 fully rigged bass boat, it's a great time on the water. So let's go ahead and see what Mystery Tackle Box Pro has for June this year of 2016. Looks like they sent us a yearling live bait ball crankbait. This is a let's see how deep it says it dives here. This will dive 4 to 5 feet, and it's a 1/4 ounce, which I'm not a huge crankbait guy, believe it or not. I do enjoy some crankbait fights, but unfortunately, where I fish and the types of fish that that we target, I wouldn't say crankbaits wouldn't work. It's just I have other techniques. However, I do throw crankbaits on occasion, and when I do, I like to have them. Let's see. They also sent us a Rapala scatter wrap. This is the scatter wraps are really kind of interesting, actually, and this is a 6 to 8 foot range. And the nice thing about scatter wraps, from what I recall and reading on these, is they sweep kind of really wide. It's not a tight wobble. It's not a little jiggle. It's a wide sweeping, shoot. Almost kind of like a jerk bait going the same way the whole time. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Let's see, we got a BD Series Boyd Duckett tournament grade black frog, 1/2 ounce. Nice little black frog. Now, I am a frog fisher. So I love frogs. As a matter of fact, I've got 2 tied on right here on 2 of these rods. Nice little bait, nice and dark black. It's got a little bit of red on the front, just a tad, which could really play into your favor if you're fishing it during the day on a nice clear lake. You get that little bit of red. For some reason around here, and I'm sure everywhere, red seems to be a good trigger. Body's nice and soft like most frogs, and those hook tips are so sharp. I mean, I'm barely putting my fingers on them and they're sinking in. So that's going to be, I'm going to actually leave this out, and I'm going to put this in my, oh, and it rattles. Who would have thought? Doesn't say anything on here about rattles, but it's got a rattle in it. So even better. Better. So I'm going to leave that out because he's going in my frog box right away. Here's my kind of nemesis bait, and I'll tell you guys a real quick story. I was throwing something very similar to what I'm going to show you next, and lost my biggest bass of the year this year. He was at least 5.5 pounds, if not pushing 6. He was a pig, and he shredded my 10-pound line. And but nonetheless, Skinny Bear spinnerbait, the big guy. So this is actually a really big spinnerbait. I'm going to pull it out because this is actually going to go into my spinnerbait box as well. Oh yeah. Look at that. What the heck? Big old tails off the back of like stripped, reflective, I'm not even sure. But even better on this spinnerbait, it's actually got a bait holder. So if you put your trailer on there, which on these I generally like to throw like a big swim bait on these, kind of adds to that reflection. Blades are big. You can see how big those blades are. This is actually what size is this? This is a 1/2 ounce big guy spinnerbait. He's got holographic eyes, hand-tied skirt, a 6/0 mustad, and realistic detail. These guys are out of Bakersfield, California. And I was actually watching a show earlier today, and they were talking about these bass / trout lakes where they actually have rainbow trout, and these bass are growing, and apparently they have a bunch of them in California, and these bass are growing 20+ pounds. So to me, that is huge. 20+ pounds of bass. So I don't even know. I wouldn't even know what to do if I even caught a 20-pound bass. So, but
how you doing?
Not interested, thank you.
All right, sorry to bother you.
So the guy's driving around selling meat. Last thing I need. But these baits are really popular out there, especially for those big bass. Actually, the show that I was watching, when they were catching them, they were actually throwing these big white spinner baits. Now, unfortunately for me, I also live in a state that has a lot of northern pike. And the problem with northern pike in these are the pike love these things. So if you're going for northern pike up here in Michigan, these things are great. If you're going for bass, well, you're going to catch some, but be prepared to catch some northern pike as well. I have a tendency to throw these on heavier line. Unfortunately, the other day I threw it on a 10-pound rod, not thinking, and you know, I didn't catch any pike. I had a few chase it, but that big one, I should have had bigger line. Anyway, lesson learned. It happens to the best of us. Next we have Gambler Ugly Otter. These are soft plastics. Boy, do they stink. Garlicky. But nice big paddle tails, 3 big paddle tails on there. Nice nice bait for I like using these, honestly. I know a lot of people, you know, you throw these on your, you know, your jigs, things like that. I actually like to Texas rig these and use them as like creature baits. Just Texas rig with, you know, I don't know, 1/4 ounce, depending upon the depth and the wind, up to 1/16 ounce weight, and just slowly drag them along the bottom. Something like this thing, you know, he's got a big old tail. Probably suit a little bit better on the back of a jig, but at the same time, you know, listen, you Texas rig almost any of these plastics and work it like a creature bait, and you're gonna land some decent fish. So that's made by Gambler. Product made in the USA in Pompano Beach, Florida. I used to live very close to there. Might even have to give these guys a call and check out a few more of their baits. Now we got some pen hooks, penetration hooks. These are, trying to see if this top opens. Here it goes. I don't know which ones I got.
Doesn't really say. Just says quantity 2. It doesn't say what model they are. But it's an interesting design. If you guys can see that. Let's see here. There you go. Kind of really almost like a J. And I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess that would work pretty well for a worm. Trying to see if it says in here what they're for. It looks probably like a 4/0. So it looks like 5-inch fluke. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, they didn't mark on here. Oh, they're G hooks. So they're 2/0, 7 to 9-inch worm. So, like I said, penhooks.com, and they sent us 2 of them. They claim that they're $1.60 for 2, so 80 cents a piece. I don't know. I'll have to try these out. I've never really fished with that style of hook, but not to say that it wouldn't be a good bait nonetheless. But real quick, just to recap, so we got the yearling crankbait, $15.99. The big guy skinny bear, $9.99. The scatter wraps, $8.99. The frog was $7.99. The ugly otter, $4.79. And the G hooks, it says a 5-pack retails for $3.99. And the 2-pack is $1.60. We did get Dibbles Digest. I always love looking through these. There's a lot of really good information in here. Just, not everything. I mean, a lot of times, for somebody that fishes a lot, you kind of look at them and you go, oh, yeah. But on occasion, you do come across some pretty good stuff. I'm going to actually use the spinner bait here and see if we can't match the hatch. See if we can't win one. I've never won anything on these, but I figure someday I might. Today's not going to be that day. But if I would have won, we would have got a Hurag bandana. Or Hurag bandana. So I'm not really sure what those are. I haven't really seen one. But nonetheless, I think I'm most interested in throwing this frog. I love throwing frogs. I haven't always had the best luck or the biggest fish on frogs, but there's just something about a topwater bait that just makes it all worth it. So I'm really kind of looking forward to this. But with that being said, I'm Moose. Don't forget, you can check us out at www.520fishing.net. You can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/520fishing, and all the other social medias. We're all out there, and send us some information about something maybe you want us to review, or maybe if you just want to kind of talk about I don't know, whatever. Let us know. You can email me at moose@520fishing.net. Till next time, I'm Moose. Don't forget about our men and women of our armed forces serving overseas, and we'll catch you here next time. Take care.